It kind of hasn't sunk in yet, to be quite honest. I showed up at work today and they let me in the building, so I think it's a good thing. But I'm glad to be here tonight in Des Moines. This is probably one of my last iClubs, I don't know, but it's always fun to come back to Des Moines and my Drake roots and just being here. But it feels a little bit surreal right now, to be quite honest.
Why now?
Why now? Why not? I mean, it's just, it's a opportunity for Dave and I to travel while we're still healthy. My son is going to be a senior at Grinnell College next year, and I get to see all of his games. I miss so many of my kids' things, and it's just time for me to be able to give time to them fully. It's a good time to go out, quite honestly.
Coach, I know you touched on this in your statement yesterday, but what was the decision-making process from the time of those exit meetings? When did you really fully know you were going to do this?
Dave and I went on vacation, and we spent a lot of time talking, and I reached out to some other coaches that have recently retired and got their, kind of ideas on it. It's a time-consuming job, and it's nice to be able to breathe a little bit right now and not jump right back into workouts that'll be starting in a month.
How tiring were the last 2 years for you, going so deep into the tournament?
It's tiring, but it's also invigorating, right? I mean, you're getting to do what you want to do at the highest level. So even though the season went longer, it certainly was enjoyable. And the women that I got to share it with and the coaches I got to share it with, it was amazing.
The fact that you get to, I don't want to say hand off the job to Jan, but just create a pathway for her to get the job, is that also something that was important to you? And obviously that must mean a lot for you that she's the next head coach.
It is the perfect choice to be the next head coach. Jan has worked with me for 32 years, I believe, or maybe, 32 years. And, she's been our associate head coach for 20 years, so she's been right there. I mean, that is the perfect person to take on this role and to keep everything flowing in the right direction.
We've seen a lot of coaches that have made a rash decision right after a big event and then decide, I made a mistake. You took about 5 weeks. Was that kind of the thought process of, let's wait until after the season, get away from it a little bit before you make a decision?
Absolutely. I wasn't going to make a decision immediately following the national tournament, so just having a few weeks to get away from it all, and then, like I said, to get, Dave and I were on vacation and had some good opportunities to talk away from everybody, and that was really good.
Lisa, what are you going to miss the most about being around the team and coaching the girls?
Going to practice. I mean, going to practice every day with the women. I sent them a text today again reiterating that just being able to be around 18 to 22-year-olds that are so motivated and so excited and so positive. I mean, that keeps a person young, quite honestly. And so I will miss the practices. I won't miss the road trips. Those are kind of grueling sometimes, but I will miss the players and just the camaraderie of being a part of a team, being part of a coaching staff and a team. There's nothing like that.
It seems like Jan has had some opportunities in the past to be head coach. Why is the timing right for her now?
Well, she has had opportunities, and she's turned them down to stay at the University of Iowa. So that loyalty you can't replace that. I mean, her love for the University of Iowa, being an Iowa girl, I mean, that is so important. And that's why she's going to do so well, because she's so passionate about it. I mean, she turned other opportunities down to stay here. So it's perfect for her.
When did you have an idea, during the season maybe, just internally, I guess?
I try not to think about that during the season, because during the season, I think if you start thinking about things like that, you're taking your eyes off the goal. So not really. It was really after the season.
Okay. I just wonder if you cherish those moments in that way, or, you know what I mean? This is my last.
Yeah, my daughter and I walked down to Carver today, and I said to her, I wish I would have known that Ohio State was our last regular season game, and I wish I would have known that West Virginia was our last game. And she couldn't understand why, but it's just, to imprint that in your memory just even a little bit more. I wish I kind of would have known.
I think was Hannah on your lap 24 years ago when you were that
she
introductory?
Was.
She was singing into the microphone?
Yeah, she was.
What are the kids up to at this point?
My daughter Hannah is still at the University of Iowa, but she has her master's degree now, and so we'll see what her future holds for her. My daughter Emma is actually here in Des Moines. She is a fifth grade teacher at Jordan Creek, and my son is going to be a senior at Grinnell.
When people look back at you and your teams, what do you want them to remember most?
I want them to remember just the joy that this team played with, how much the camaraderie, like so much can be accomplished if you put all your differences aside and you focus on the goal and you focus on the mission. And that's what this team did. And that's what was so much fun to be a part of. So I hope people remember that. I hope that we brought joy to a lot of people and let them kind of forget about any troubles that they may have in their lives for a couple of hours, on game days. But mostly I just want people to remember the way we played the game. Hopefully, people remember the results, but also the way that we managed that.
Was there ever any thought about not coming tonight?
No, there really wasn't.
You're retired.
I when I talked to Beth last week, I said, hey, I'm signed up for the iClub. I'll still go if you want me to, but so I'm here.
When you look at your career arc, you played, but even before women's basketball was part of the NCAA, you became a head coach at age 23, I think it was, 23, 24, something like that.
Yeah.
And then now to see what you guys accomplished this year with the fan bases and just the explosion. And can you kind of grasp what that means to the sport, but also to you personally to be a part of that growth from day one, basically?
I consider myself so blessed that I got to see this journey. Like, people that are just stepping in now think this is the way it was, and it wasn't. So I think we have a different appreciation because we saw it from ground level to what it is now. And for me, I feel so blessed that I got to be a part of that journey and see the growth of it, because that to me is more satisfying than just stepping into something.
Lisa, Caitlin starts her
Yeah.
tonight, the main regular season. How excited are you to see her journey continue at the highest level?
Yeah, Caitlin, Kate, Megan are all playing tonight. I texted all of them this morning, wish them luck tonight. I wish I could be watching their games, but I'm going to go see Caitlin play on Thursday, so I'll be there at that game on Thursday, and looking forward, I'll see the other girls play at the end of the month.
When you see them kind of achieve their dreams, what's the joy that brings you when you see them on that level?
It's the best. And it's really whether they are professional athletes or whether they get that law degree or graduate from medical school. To me, that is the fun part about coaching as well, is just seeing women getting empowered to just go for their dreams and seeing them achieve those dreams, whatever it is really rewarding.
You mentioned in your letter transitioning to being the biggest champion of this program. What does that look like? Do you know that yet?
Oh man, I don't know what that. I'll be at games, and it's so that will be very strange. But I was talking to some of my parents of recruits last night, saying, "Hey, now we're going to sit together in the stands and break it down." So, I'm going to be behind this program 100% forever. Obviously, it makes it a lot easier that Jan is there. For me to be behind this program 100%, but certainly because of the women that are there.
Do you have any aspirations of coaching at a different level or anything?
No, I've already had some people reach out about being TV and stuff like that, and I'm just gonna kind of wait. I had that advice from Marcia Sharp, who was the Texas Tech coach who retired a few years back, and she said, a lot of people are going to come and ask you to do things, and just kind of wait and see what you really want to do, and kind of make that commitment then. Don't jump on everything now or you'll be overwhelmed.
One more question then, please.
Has it set in with what these last 2 years your team has accomplished? The greatest seasons that Iowa women and even Iowa sports have ever seen. Has that kind of set in yet that you're going out on such a high level?
Obviously everybody would like to go out on a high level, right?
Yeah.
I was saying coaching, it's not if you're fired, it's when you're fired. And so, for me to be able to choose when I leave is great. I haven't watched like the LSU game from last year yet. I haven't seen the LSU game from this year or the South Carolina. I haven't watched any of those, so I just haven't had time to do that. And it's such a good feeling, to take this team to the Final Four and to the national championship game. And I know that nothing can ever replicate that. It was pretty magical.